Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Got a video for you. This one's a request video that somebody's asked me to do. Now I was going to do it anyway, but I'll do it a bit earlier. I've been planning on doing this, but been putting off a little bit. And this one's for this laser I've stuck on this Internet A8. And what the video is going to be is how to install it, where I got it from. I'll just leave that in the description below. And then I'm going to pop over to the PC and look at the software needed and how to get images from, how to get this to burn and also cut into the surface. I've just got a piece of cardboard here just clamped onto the bed, and I've got a focus to about 50mm. Yeah. So first of all, what I've done is I got this thing off Banggood, and I'll leave the link in the description below. There's loads and loads of lasers you can buy. This one is the lowest one I think you can get, to be honest. This one's 500mW or something. Comes with a built-in fan, so all you've got to do, this wire comes off it. You just need to add a power source to it. Yeah. I printed out this from Thingiverse, and I'll leave the links in the description below if anybody's interested in that. 3D print that out, pop it on. It was designed to be screwed on, hence the little holes. There's a one there. No one there. But what I have done, because I wanted to leave the printer as it was without upsetting it, because the printer works great, I've just put a bungee cord around and I just bungee it on. As you can see, it's just loose. I just level it up with the top, and that's me datum sorted. Make sure it's somewhere near in the middle. That'll do me. I've left a little gap so the fan can actually still, this fan can actually still draw air in, just so you don't block it out. And then what I've done, if you notice, the power for the fan, this fan comes in through here, comes in along here, it goes to the fan. I've just cut the wire and just tapped in a plug and just burn it. So when I do want to use it, all I've got to do is unplug that and just take out the bungee. You leave the bungee on, and the bungee actually keeps my door closed as well, so that's like a dual purpose. I know it's not very neat, but it serves my purpose, and it stays put. What you may want to consider is gluing like a little bar on there, like a little piece of plastic on there, and maybe on this side to stop it from, so it's parallel to the ground, yeah, parallel to the surface here, just to keep it nice and square. But it works great for me, and it's just into the fan, so once you when the fan comes on, the laser comes on. Now the only question I've got about doing it this way is that this is drawn power and this is drawn power, so I'm just wondering whether I'm not getting a full 500 milliwatt. If somebody wants to let me know, I assume if that's getting drawn power and this is drawn power, you're going to lose a little bit. I don't know, or whether the power can just compensate for that, I don't know. So if someone knows about that, I'd be interested to find out. But it seems to work alright. So that's it for the fitting. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to the PC. First thing we need to do is download a bit of software. So if we just pop open the internet, and we want to look at this site here, which is this is the software I use, Inkscape version 0.92. You can download it in whatever version you want. Yeah. It does go back to different versions. My advice would just put the 2017 version on, because the plugin you're going to use is going to be the 9.2 version for this. So pick whatever you want, then download it, pop it into the relevant folder, what you're going to need, and there's the information's on there. You've got to download, pick the Windows version point whatever, that one, and then there'll be a link to show you how to set up. Once you've got that installed, then you need to go over to another site. Yeah, this one here, jtechphotonics.com, should be it. And then you want to download the version what you've installed. So if you put that one on, you need that one. We've installed the 0.92, so we need that on. Yeah, so we'd install that, and then it tells you what to do with it. Yeah, it tells you to pop it into zip folder with that extension there, I mean, obviously you might put it on drive C, D, whatever. Once that's installed, it might be worth noting to get you a little list of your G code. So if you just type in G code, I've just got it up. I just type in G code as a search, comes up with this, gives you a breakdown of all the G codes, an explanation as well what they are. There's about 1,000 codes. So if you're not sure about some of the codes, we're going to look at the G code shortly, then you can track it down in here and see what it is. So that's worth noting. So once you've done that, then we need to open the software, which is Inkscape. Okay, once it's open, and we'll start from scratch. So I'm not going to go into detail of what everything means. I don't use 98% of this. I only use the basics, what I need to get the laser working. It's designed for all sorts of things. Okay, and the extension is only a part of it. So what I'd normally do is set up the main page first. So I'll pop it into File, down to Document Settings, and then this is actually the size of this. So my print bed is 210 by 210. Yeah. So if I do that and then do that, then it'll make me a rectangle there, sort of square. Yeah. But what I've found, just for instance, say you were printing something like a phone cover, and the dimensions were, I don't know, 150 say, by, I'm only guessing, just say 80. It'll give you the rough shape of a phone. Yeah, so you measure your phone up, and then whatever you place in that rectangle there will be, it won't go out of that. So sometimes, so even though your bed might be like bigger, that's where your zero is going to be from there. So it's a lot easier to get accurate with where you want to place text or pictures. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to have a quick measure of the plate on the bed. 120 by 200. 120 by 200. So if I go 120 by actually 200, and the height is 120. Yeah, there you go. So that's actually the size of the cardboard sheet I've put on my bed. My bed actually goes up double that, so it goes up to about there. But now it's just a more accurate. So your zero, your datum is going to be X and Y from this point here. What I do next is I can go into guides and change the colors. Grid, I'm going to add a new grid. And then what I'm going to do is come down to this X and Y space, and I want to make that 10 millimeters. I'm going to change that to millimeters. Make that a 10. Same there. So now, close that. We don't need this anymore. I don't think. No, we don't need that no more. So now what we're going to do is zoom in a bit using the control key. A little bit more. About there. So now 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 by 120, 50, 120. So now these are in 10mm cubes. Okay, you can do it another way. You can go to View, Zoom, Page, and then I'll just maximize the full page. But I want it to be a little bit smaller, just so it's easy to see for me. Okay. Don't know what I'm doing wrong there. Anyway, so I'm going to just draw, say, like a simple square. So if we pick this tool here, you can use the F4 key, and then we'll draw it maybe so there by there. Now this is going to snap to the coordinates. Now that's 30 by 30, so let's just say 20 by 20. So in the top left you could change that to, I'll use the arrow keys, or you can type in, just type in the coordinates, the size. Yeah, so that's a width of 20 and the height of 20. Okay. That's better. So now, if you want to move this thing around, pick the arrow key at the top, the transform one, and you can move it around to wherever you want, or you can resize it. If you want to keep these dimensions, there's a little lock button at the top. You can lock the button. Yeah. Okay, so now we know that this is our maximum. If I start to use a laser here, it'll be outside of the cutting area. So that's the piece of cardboard, exactly the same dimensions. Yeah. So now what we need to do is to print this out. Make sure it's selected. It won't do it if it's not selected. Go to Path, Object to Path, over to Extensions. Now, if we scroll down, we've got Generate Laser Code, and there's our JTech extension we put in. Click on that. A dialog box opens. Now in here is all the basic bits. So if I click Apply, then it generates the G code. So before then, we want to check. There's our M106 command to turn the laser on, turn the laser off. When you do look in the G code, we can actually go back to that website and check all the, if you're not sure what a G command is. Yeah. So we've got travel speed, 1300 millimeters a minute. So the distance from where it starts, travels to there, would be this. So you can have it traveling quite quick. It's up to you. The laser speed is how fast the laser will travel while it's cutting. I'll leave it at 700. If you go too slow on something like wood or cardboard, you're going to cut. It's going to scorch the edges, and you get like you won't get a sharp cut. If you want to find like a very fine cut, you want to go quicker and take more passes. We're going to try and cut this out. The power of the laser, which is S, is going to be 0 to 255. 255 being maximum 12 volts. Or the maximum power of the laser, and I'll just leave it set to maximum power. Power on delay, that could be 0, I'll just leave that, doesn't matter. Passes, I'm going to leave it at 13. Remember, this is only the small laser I've got, it's only 500 milliwatt. Now that it works, I'm going to replace this with a 2.5 watt laser, and it'll probably take 2 passes rather than 13. If you've got a 5 watt laser, you'll probably do it in 1 pass, and you could probably speed it up. So it's depending on how much power you want to push out. Depth of cut, so I'm doing 13 passes. After the first pass, it's going to drop down by 0.1 millimeter, and you can set that to whatever you need. So each time it does a pass, it'll drop down 0.1 millimeters, and then another pass, another point, another point, another point. Yeah. So overall, it's going to be 1.3 millimeters. It's going to drop over 13 passes, if that's right. Yeah. Next, you need a directory. Just create a directory any way you want. I've got mine on the desktop, and if I show you it, there's mine there, G code. Yeah. So I've got that set to my desktop, G code. So I'll dump it straight into there, and from there I'll take it to put it onto the SD card. Pop it in the machine, and you're away. File name, I've already called it Square. You can call it whatever you want, as long as it's got .G code on. Yeah. This numeric suffix number just adds a, if I do another square, it'll say square 1. If I do another square, it'll say square 2, and so on. 3 being the last one it's going to do. I'll just leave that on there. Millimeter units, done. So now what we're going to do is click on this, and then it's going to create the G code. It takes a few moments. The bigger the file, the more complex the file, like a picture, it's going to take a lot longer. So that's done that, and you can see it's popped these coordinates on, X, Y, and Z, being datum. So this is where the laser is actually going to start counting its X and Y and Z. It's not going to use the Z much. Well, it is a Z because it's got that in there. If I took that off, it wouldn't have that on. And that's just telling you that's 100 millimeters from there to there. Right, so now to create the G code, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at it. So if we pop back on the desktop, sorry, back on the desktop, into the G code, it was called Square, wasn't it? There you go. So that's it there. So I'm going to delete that one because these are the ones I've been using for test. So there it is there. So if I click on it, yeah, there's all your G code. And just for interest, if I open this up and then that, so now as we look down here, you've got some G codes here. So you've got G4, G7, which is laser off, feed speed, G1 is a movement, I think, Z minus 0.1 millimeter, forget about all this decimal places, G90, I'm not sure what the G90 is, but you can find it in here. And then you've got X and Y for movement is G1, laser on at power of 255, which is maximum power, and it does that all the way down as it's doing the same 13 passes, and then it brings it back to this point here. So I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy it. Okay, I'm going to get my SD card, which is in the machine. I'm going to pop it into the computer. Just give it a second. Okay, so now I've copied it. It's onto this USB dongle. I'll just check I haven't got it in here. No, so now I'm going to click paste. There it is, there, square. Close this down, and then I'll see you back at the printer. Hi guys, back at the printer now. I've took my SD card, which I've popped that G code on. I'm just holding the camera, so bear with me. I'm going to pop it into there, and then we're pretty much all set up. What we've got to do is a few things before we crack on. We need to find out where the laser is. Just bearing in mind we're messing about with lasers, so we need glasses. So I'm going to put my glasses on, and later on I'm going to make a shade. So what we're going to do first, I want to come up to here. How long, 'cause I can't see. And I'm going to go into quick settings. I'm going to go down to fan speed. Oh, have I gone past it? Oh no, sorry, gone the wrong way. Fan speed. Now I've got 0, 25, 50. I'm going to go to say 10%. So if I go that to 10, you'll see the laser come on as I'm clicking it. 1%, 2%, 3%. There. I can barely see that with the naked eye. I'll go to about 5%. There you go. So you can see the laser. It's not going to burn you. There's no power there at all. Even though I dare hold my finger underneath. Yeah, it's not going to do that. There's no power there at all. Even the fan's not even moving. It's trying to, but it's not moving. Okay, so what we need to do now is position this dot in this far corner. So just push it over. Somewhere near. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's only a piece of cardboard, but that's pretty good. So you can see that's pretty much in the centre. Sorry, at the datum point, X and Y. Yeah. My height is 50mm. So all I need to do now is go back into print from file. Oh no, I need to go down to SD card, unmount the card, then mount, print from file, and then there's the other one. So we want square, so I want to go down Is that it? Yeah. So now, As soon as I hit the button, it should start cutting. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There's the button. There you go. Exactly where I placed it on the card. And there's the square. And also on the screen it will tell you 37% done. I can't remember how many times I told it to, was it 13? It's done 50%. I wasn't counting, so. But it's working, guys. Super accurate line. Just remember, goggles on when you're using these things. You need a bit of reflected light to catch you in the eye, and that's it, you're blinded. So don't mess about with these things. 91% done. And if I had a bigger laser, a more powerful laser, it would be probably one pass. I don't know where that's cut. Okay. Don't want you to see that. It's just, I need to take my camera just off the tripod a sec, guys, because it's getting in the road. Okay. Okay. Let's take it off. Flips off. I don't think it's cut through that, but let's have a look. Oh, just if I hold it up against the light, yeah, it's done it. It's actually cut through. It's that fine. Yeah, it's cut through all the way. Pretty good. So that should just pop out now then. No, the light's not brilliant. I'm just trying to do this with one hand. It's a little bit, it's left a little bit just on that corner, but not bad. It's not bad, guys. Look at that. Perfect. Well pleased with that. Just needs a little bit more off, like a tad. So one more pass I would have done that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to do a picture. So back on the computer, and then we'll see what we can do with that. Okay. What we're going to do now is see if we can get a picture of some kind. There's loads and loads and loads of places online just to download a picture. Let's have a look. I've already downloaded something to try, so import it. I think it was a cat, picture of a cat. So if I scroll down, I've only got a couple. I mean, there's a few things in here. There's a eagle, that one. Try that cat. There you go, nice little cat. So I've imported this as a PNG file or a bitmap. Yeah, and then I'm going to go to link. Leave the rest. Okay. Now I've left, this is the square we've just printed, so now I know if I use the same piece of card I can position this maybe there. See how it tries to jump to the squares? So we position that maybe there. That looks quite good. And then what we're going to need to do now is we can delete this because we don't want this to come back up, so we delete that. And then we're going to select this object to path. Sorry, yeah, path, object to path, extension, G-code. Now we just want to just draw this. We don't want to cut it, so 13 passes is no good. So we're going to go for 2. Just go for one pass. One pass should be okay. I will go for 2 to make it a bit darker, or you could make it a bit slower. 700. Now we'll leave it like that. So we do one pass, or 2 passes, drops down a little bit. Same, going to change that to cat. Call it cats. Cats 1. Just so I know what it is. Click apply. Okay, so if we open up G-code, it's called cats. Okay, cats, not on here. Oh, cats 1, there we are. Okay, so that hasn't worked. I know what I've done wrong, so delete that. So what's happened there is the G-code hasn't gone in, so it's just gone to the same position. I know exactly what I've done. Delete that. So what we need to do is select that, right click, trace bitmap, then you get this box up. All I use is leave all this the same, click update, scans. If you're happy with what it looks like, click OK. And I think you can just close that down, I think. And then we do the same thing again. Path to object. Extension. Cat 1, apply. This time it should make a longer G code because last time it was only telling to go from there to here. Okay. Just check the G code, which was cat 1. There you go. So see the difference. So now it's done the full lot now. Everything's in there. Great. So what we have to do is copy, paste onto my USB stick. Cat 1. Paste. Paste. I'm going to rename that. Just something different so I don't get mixed up. Okay, so now back over to the printer and we'll see if we can print that out. Right guys, back at the printer. I've just put the same piece of card on so that it should print in this area here. Yeah? You can see I've got the reference points in that corner and I'm also, there's the file hit. Makes its way over, should be somewhere near. See if you're doing that okay. There's a little bit of smoke obviously because it's actually burning into the card. Might make myself a little extractor system with a charcoal filter. Looking pretty good. You could go a little bit faster or a bit slower, since you have to experiment a little bit. So you could use this for making stencils or engraving or... Okay, we've done 51% onto the second pass. It probably could have done with just one pass, would have been good enough. As you can see, it sticks out a little bit, but it doesn't affect the printer. That means when I want to come to doing any 3D printing, I don't need to worry, I just take that off. I'll show you that in a minute when it's finished. You can hear the fan speeding up and slowing down. And this is on ANET A8. These are only very simple images. I don't know where the grayscale images are going to be. I think I need another piece of software called a raster G-code generator. I need something like that, but I don't think it's just the same type of thing, just a little extension file. So we're on 77%, nearly done. And the laser doesn't move, it doesn't really have any problems. If you bump the table or not moved it a slight bit, you're going to have a blurred image. %, nearly done guys. 99, there we go, there we go. Okay, pop the clips off. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's fantastic. Really accurate. Them lines are like so close together. I would say them lines are about a millimetre, half a millimetre together. Them two lines there. Really good. Yeah, can't argue with that. Okay guys, hope you like this video. It's been a while trying to get it working, but I hope I've answered all the questions. Again, I'm not an expert, I'm only doing it as I go along, but it seems to be pretty straightforward. I am going to be getting myself another laser, because I want to be able to cut acrylic, like this type of stuff. That's only thin, but I want to be able to cut like 3mm, that type of stuff. But bearing in mind, if you're going to cut wood, plywood and things, it's going to make a hell of a lot of smoke. If you're doing a mobile phone or something like that, in fact, I've done some etching on a mobile phone. That's just some dates and things, and some names. I don't have my phone numbers on there, but that's worked okay. So yeah, works really good, really pleased with it. These things, not much money, £20, £25 or something. If you've already got the printer, why would you not do this? And to take it off, if I can just put that there a second, just unplug it like that. There's the lead, that stays like that, this comes off, and then we just pop that up. That's it. I've got one bolt holding on the back, and that's it. Back to 3D printing. Just leave that. That's it guys. Thumbs up if you like this video, and please subscribe. Thanks guys.